Oh, hello. Been a little minute. My room may look a little different to you. It should. Hi, Mr. President, get in here. There are people watching us, Mr. President. Come here. Some things have changed. I got a new dog. Do you want to see him?
Ladies and
This is
gentlemen,
Mr. President.
the President of the United States.
He really likes attention. What else is new? I don't know. Maybe I got a new tattoo. Maybe I've been streaming on twitch.tv. What? I know! 3 days a week. I honestly wasn't going to make this video. I wasn't gonna post it. I had it all cut up, ready to go post on YouTube, and I went, I wanted to keep this from you because it's long. I mean, if you hadn't looked at the bottom of your screen, just look at the length of this thing, and I just have two questions. Aren't you supposed to be doing something?
You need to leave!
Don't you have other things to do?
Stop right there, criminal scum!
Editor Yeb here. Yes, I do dress like this whenever I edit. I thought this video was going to be long. That was until I realized I could just as easily cut it up into 3 equal parts for your attention span and mine. If you'd like to follow along with this little mini series, go ahead. You know what to do. Subscribe, all that jazz, whatever. Wow, I sound so callous. I just want to say I'm not an editor. I've taught myself how to edit making this video. And bear with me because the pronunciation in this too it's all over the place. Without further ado, let's go to Japan. This was my first international flight. We flew Japan Airlines. We got free ice cream, free miso, free beer, free vegetarian and non-vegetarian meals, and they were so good I decided to wear it. In not so short 12 hours, we got to our first Airbnb, the coziest, comfiest place that we're going to be staying. Spoiler alert. I'll leave a link for this Airbnb in the comments down below because this place was genuinely the best neighborhood, the best location, the best host. Yoshi was just the sweetest human on planet Earth, and you guys got to stay here if you do come. Our first stop, though, is Ueno Park, and this was a great place to start our whole trip. Cherry blossom season, baby. We were so lucky that the cherry blossoms got delayed, so we got to see them. And when you walk up to Ueno Park, at least at this particular time, they were in full bloom. There were tourists everywhere. Best of all, people had these little tarps out so that you can enjoy a little picnic while you were watching the cherry blossoms fall to the ground like poetry. And if you want to, I highly recommend getting lost in Ueno Park because it's huge. You can leave a prayer, you can take a really cool photo of a neat tree hole, and also there's some fairgrounds around this area, at least where we went, where there was a flea market, they were selling little tchotchkes. There was also a monkey on a leash that I did not get a picture of, but I do recommend when you come to check out the smaller shrines surrounding the bigger shrines because they tend to be less touristy. So you can get nice photos like this. So from Ueno Park, we went to the business district, which is around the main center of Tokyo. We were trying to get to the Imperial Palace. It was closed, we got there a little too late, so we'll have to come back to it later. Since our plans got thwarted, we decided to go get some ramen with our tail between our legs. This is my first time flirting with meat since coming to Japan.
Good?
But it was really good. I did my best to eat around it, but of course, that plan was short-lived because next to us was the sweetest angel. Her name was Kimiko, and she had a plate of dumplings. And she really wanted us to have these dumplings. She could tell we weren't from Japan. She was asking us all these questions about where we were from. She gave us these dumplings, me being vegetarian at the time, and Booty having a shellfish allergy. We were like, well, we can't say no to this. So we didn't. We ate the dumplings. Of course they were delicious. Thankfully, no one got sick. So that was my first time eating meat in 7 years. Thanks, Kimiko. Our next stop is the Museum of Modern Art, and I highly recommend you guys come here. We were here for about 4 hours, but that's because we took our sweet molasses, and it was just so quiet and nice, even though there were so many people inside. I also recommend you go check out this viewing deck. You can see the Imperial Palace and a really nice view of the skyline. Also, you're not supposed to take videos in the museum. I got kind of not really yelled at, but sort of yelled at for that one. So I took the pictures of ones that I liked, like this artist who only draws lambs, or this painting of a squirrel I really related to. After that, it was time to wave bye-bye to the Museum of National Art and walk back home. And our Airbnb just so happened to be around Asakusa, which is the home of a lot of really cool little street vendors, markets, little shrines, and more importantly, Sensoji Temple. So there's a lot of really cool vendors outside of Sensoji Temple, but you can't miss the amazing Thunder Gate, or the way that it is pronounced in Japanese, it means Thunder Gate, but it's gorgeous. And if you go a little further inside, there's another temple where you can lead prayers, and you can also get some food around here. This is my favorite temple in all of Japan, this shrine, Sensoji Temple in Asakusa. Not because it's the most spiritual, but because there's so many people, but you don't feel crowded. Other shrines kind of make you feel that way. Another thing that makes you feel really spiritual, sriracha vending machines. That night we decided to go get dumplings at this place we found online. And this place was probably the most transcendent dumpling experience that one can hope to have. I'm gonna leave a way for you guys to find them in the comments down below, but do keep in mind that this dumpling place is someone's home. That was Booty telling me not to film in there because that was someone's home. As it turns out though, they really did not mind us recording at all. They recorded us making their dumplings. The owner of the shop's name is Keisuke, and Keisuke has been making dumplings for, I don't know, a really fucking long time, but Keisuke was making in front of us these dumplings, making the mix-ins, putting it all together, running the shop entirely on his own. I'm gonna highly recommend you go here too, but do keep in mind, it is limited seating with literal five bar stools, and it's very intimate. So when you go in, please be respectful. If I hear you went there and gave Keisuke problems, I won't do anything about it, but I'll be really disappointed. Also, there are some really sweet patrons in there who are cheering us on. I think you could hear it in the video, but they were like admiring us even trying to speak Japanese. I cannot reiterate enough how important it is to simply try.
Thank you very much. Arigato.
After that, it was time for our first convenience store run where we found Crunky. On our third day, we needed to switch rooms. No reason, just because. And we were happy to because they're all beautifully furnished and decorated. Like, what am I, a dog? So this day, we decided to take a hop, skip, jump down to a lovely place called Harajuku. And in Harajuku, it's like bougie city. We found a lot of really cool designer places, but also some thrift shops, but also dogs. Now listen, I'm a huge advocate for Adopt-O Shop, but how can you look at these little cutie pies in the face and be like, nah, I don't want you? Anyway, this is just the tip of the iceberg for Harajuku. It's overwhelming city. So to relax a little, we decided to go to a cafe. Not just any cafe, the Pom Pom Purine Cafe. It's where I found myself. We didn't even know this was here. Booty found it the night before and didn't tell me until we were already in Harajuku. And fortunately, I was really calm and cool and collected about it. I mean, it's not like all the food is shaped like Pom Pom Purine, and across the way there wasn't a Mama Shiba Cafe where you could meet Shiba Inus. My face is getting hot. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. I don't know if I need to say this, but this was an absolute must stop for me. Pom Pom Purine is my all-time favorite Sanrio character. I don't care about the others. The food was good, the staff was wonderful. This was Takashita Street, that's where the Pom Pom Purine Cafe was on, but this street is so overwhelming, dude. We didn't stop into any stores other than like a couple capsule places because there were so many people. You should go though. Anyway, we decided to pop off on a little side street. We went for a little walkie. We were trying to get to the coveted, crazy Shibuya Crossing. Now, I don't have great footage of Shibuya Crossing, but I can tell you, for me personally, it was a little underwhelming. It was just, I think, another thing that they kind of get tourists to really cling on to. Like, it was literally just crossing a very busy street. Don't get me wrong, it's cool to see so many people crossing the street, but that's kind of just like what it is. So if you like it, I'm not yucking your yum. Speaking of yum, Tarikatsu is a really great katsu restaurant, and this is where I had prawn for the first time. The prawn katsudon meal at Tarikatsu was by far, a little bit of a spoiler alert here, My favorite meal I had while I was in Japan. And you could be like, but yeah, but that's a chain restaurant. But yeah, it's just prawn. I mean, I don't think I had prawn before this trip. And I should also say, I had never seen District 8 before coming to Japan. I watched it on the plane. And Booty kept laughing because every time we went to a restaurant, I would ask for prawn. I wanted prawn. He's like, don't you feel a little bad? You know, you just watched District 8. And I was just like, I don't see what the two have in common. Go watch District 8. Go eat some prawn. Live a little. From here, we decided to take a little walk. I was trying to see if I could get us a table at this bar called Bellwood in Shibuya. Now, Bellwood has won Asia's 50 Best Bar Award. What does this mean? It means it's impossible to get a seat at, especially if you're just walking up to it. I made no prior reservations. I did not put any names down. I did not call ahead. I simply got there right when it opened. And I looked at the dude standing in front and I gave him big puppy dog eyes and I said, is there any seats available at the bar? We just want to try your drinks. And this person, I don't remember their name, but they gave us the best customer service that I have ever experienced because they were like, yeah, you know, I have a reservation that's supposed to be here, but not for another 40 minutes if you want to take their table until they come. Yeah, I fucking do. And the drinks, dude, amazing. They were so well mixed. I could tell you what we got specifically, but instead I'm gonna tell you to go there and experience it for yourself because, wow. Just try to get a table. Don't do what I did. Don't just walk up and hope and pray they'll make space for you, okay? Promise me that. And a trip to Japan is not complete without a little Plinko. This is Booty getting really excited, really scared, because he had no idea what he was doing. He kept screaming, what do I do? What do I do? I didn't leave the audio in just to save you because the audio in Plinko cache places, it's a little loud. It's a little unpleasant. Just trust me. Booty was freaking out. So much so that someone who worked there had to come over and kind of gesture as to what he was supposed to do. I guess they felt bad for him. Or me. I don't know who they felt worse for. But I think you should go, even if you don't know how it works. That's just kind of the motto when you visit Japan. Even if you don't know what it is, do it anyway. This is another view of the Shibuya crossing. It looks so tranquil at night. There's a lot less people than there normally is. But we were taking the train back to our Airbnb because we were absolutely pooped. Which leads us into day 3 of being in Japan. We decided to visit Akibahara. Akibahara is going to be the anime weeb tech center, so they'd have you believe, of Japan. I'll get a little bit more into that later. I gotta tell you to hit up Mr. Donut. Mr. Donut slaps, dude. Mochi donuts, highly recommend. I also spilled coffee on my shirt on this day because it was so good! While we were here, we found a lot of these really awesome retro game areas where you could go and find games that have been discontinued and not made for years for any console you can imagine. I just couldn't help it. This was just so much fun to look at. It's just nice to look at old stuff, I guess. Maybe that's why I keep Booty around. Anyway, can we talk about Princess Peach game on the 3DS? I feel like Nintendo was just like, yeah, women have emotions. A lot of them. But they're strong too. Loco Roco was my shit growing up. If he's junk, I'm junk. I'll get the name of the places and put them on the screen here so you could visit too, but they're a little hard to find. I think you can find it though, because you already know that this video is being filmed upside down. You're so observant. The coolest part about Akibahara was seeing VTubers that I love plastered everywhere. One definite downside though is the fact that they want you to think that this is the best place to get anime figures, games, thrifty cameras, but I figured just looking at the prices online compared to what I see now that they really jacked up the prices for tourists, so that's a bit of a shame. I'll tell you what's not a shame though, sushi baby. Conveyor belt sushi place where the conveyor belt was broken. This one that we went to where we were the only, from what I could see, Americans in there. And I told Booty I had to go to the bathroom, but I didn't know how to say that in Japanese. And he was like, okay, I'll ask for you. Because Booty did it so fluently, they responded in fluent Japanese. Wow. So after they responded, we realized, damn, I still don't know where the bathroom is. So I kind of just got up and wandered until I found it, but anyway, this is about sushi. The rest of our time in Akibahara, we spent cursing out claw machines because they were so clearly rigged. I mean, you saw it. You all saw it. I had him. Booty took a shot, and he wasn't any more lucky than me. You'll see we have our claw machine redemption arc. We stopped by a couple Yodobashi cameras. Booty was looking for a very specific camera while we were there. Unfortunately, couldn't find it, but luckily, we found this Goldfish Aquarium Museum in Ginza. Now, Ginza is definitely a bougie spot, and if you go, you will feel poor. But you should go and check out this really cool goldfish museum because it's really pretty. It's a great place for photos. And I read a lot of reviews saying that they felt that the treatment of the goldfish wasn't really super humane. But I feel like they were all very healthy, the ones that I saw. And I know the bowls are a little small, but I think for the bigger goldfish, they move them into bigger bowls once they grow. At least that's what I saw. That was my own personal experience. We were here for about an hour or so. The price of admission was about $15 per person USD. So super serene, highly recommend. No time to waste though, we're fucking booking it to take 2 buses to get to teamLabs. Now, if you don't know what teamLabs is, that's gonna be another really cool place for you to go and check out, but hear me out. It might feel a little intimidating getting there. Up until this point, I haven't really told you guys very much about how we're getting around, so let me be transparent. Was that cool? We were getting around via train, via subway. We were using our Suica cards to get around, which you can just get in your phone, and you can load it, connect it to your bank. You just tap every time you come in and every time you come out. But that's how we were getting around. And when it comes to getting to teamLabs specifically, you do have to take a bus or a ferry. We didn't want to take a ferry, but you do have to get to teamLabs, and I'll show you why. If you're someone who likes to go in blind like us, maybe skip this part of the video. I'll put a timestamp. What we didn't know before we went in was that we were going to have to take our shoes off and put them in these little lockers and walk around barefoot for the majority, if not all of the experience. And this was cool for a lot of reasons, and if you don't think about the way that your feet are touching the surface that thousands of other strangers' feet are touching, it's really cool. Every room is different. This room is supposed to be like an infinity mirror lights thing. I mean, supposed to be, is. It's breathtaking. But the next room that you walk into is this like murky water projector fish kind of game. The fish run into you and explode into cherry blossoms, which I think is really cool. And again, just don't think about the fact that you're in warm, shin-deep water.
That's not a fish.
We certainly didn't. We were just trying to have a good time. The next room is the ballroom, and allegedly if you push the balls they change color. I don't think so though, because the room was just changing colors already. This room is every Instagram hoe's dream. So many balls you can take photos with, and I'm that Instagram hoe. Go follow me on Instagram. I took a really cool photo here. I won't tell you what this room is, just so you don't know everything about teamLabs, but if you find it, it's past the ballroom before the next room. It's a little corridor tucked away, hidden on the left. Good luck finding it, it's so fucking dark. This room, which just had a bunch of orchids dangling off the ceiling and mirrors. Again, it was just a great place to take photos. I saw a woman throw herself on the floor so she could get the best spot before everybody else. It's touristy, but teamLabs was honestly a really cool experience. So that was our first couple days in Japan, in Tokyo. If you liked it, you know what to do. I'm just gonna do a little dancey dance and the video's gonna outro itself out. No, I'm not.